everyone, you're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, and this is Weekend Wake Up, here to give you the latest on all things lifestyle and entertainment. I'm Caitlin Aristizaba, joined by my wonderful co-host,
Leslie Gallagher.
Today is Sunday, October 18th, and if you didn't know, it is also National Cupcake Day. National Chocolate Cupcake Day. Oh my goodness. So specifically chocolate cupcakes. If that's not the perfect excuse to go eat a cupcake, I don't know what is. But if cupcakes aren't your thing and special brownies are, here's Leslie with some more fun facts about October 18th.
Alrighty, so this day in history, 1968, police found 219 grains of cannabis resin in John Lennon's and Yoko Ono's apartment. They were fined 150 euros for marijuana possession. So be careful with your brownies, everyone. In 1967, Walt Disney's Jungle Book was released. In 1961, Academy Award-winning film West Side Story is released. And in 1954, Texas Instruments Incorporated announces the first transistor radio. This is a radio show, so that's pretty cool. We get to see our evolution. But yeah, so today we've got a lot of people lined up to give you a bunch of different segments. We've got lifestyle, entertainment, Self-Care Sunday, and we've got wellness. So stick around till the end. But first up, we've got What's Trending Lifestyle News with Kathy Yuska. Kathy, how you doing?
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Good. This is like your first time at the station. So how are you feeling?
Yeah. A little nervous, honestly, but no, I'm really excited to tell everyone what's trending right now. And
yeah, I'm honestly so glad you're here. It's always awesome to see new faces at WMSC. It's great. You know, I joined maybe like last February, right before the pandemic. And I don't know, it feels like a little family. So I'm glad you're in the family now.
Yeah, it really does. I joined after Leslie, like I joined this semester, and everybody's just so welcoming and friendly. I really do feel like part of a family.
Yeah, no, I did join last fall, but I was able to definitely get more involved this semester because everything is more remote. So yeah.
That's true. Remote does kind of help in a way. Alrighty, so tell us what's trending this week? Like what's going on?
So right now, as of October 13th, it was a deadline to register to vote here in New Jersey. Did you two register to vote?
Of course we did.
Is that even a question? I did as well. Did you stand in your ballot yet, by any chance?
I filled out my ballot, and I just did it the other day, so I have to send it in. But honestly, it's really crazy because I felt so overwhelmed when I first opened the envelope. Like they were like 10 pages. That's exaggerated, but it's like a bunch of paperwork, and I laid everything out, and I was like, okay, I could do this. But you know, it was good though. They give you instructions.
Yeah, no, thankfully there were instructions, because if there was not, I think I might fill out something wrong by accident. And so yeah, is it your first time voting or no?
For me, I voted for the primaries when, like, you know, COVID first hit and stuff. So my mom helped me with everything, but my mom wasn't with me this time when I filled out the ballot.
Oh,
you know, but it was okay. It's all good.
Yeah, I voted technically for the first time over the summer with the primaries as well. So like that was a surreal experience, but like now this is like even bigger. So yeah, I haven't filled out mine yet. I mean, I know what and who I'm voting for, but like I haven't filled it out yet. At some point, me and my family are all gonna fill it out, and then I think someone's gonna drive it over instead of mailing it in. I don't know why, but yeah, that's our plan.
Yeah, it is my first time voting officially for this election, for the 2020 election. I remember when I was a senior in high school, I was 18. Yeah, 18. And I did not register to vote. Wait, actually, no. Okay. No, sorry. Rephrase. No, I did register to vote, but the candidates were no one, or like they weren't anyone that I just agreed with. So yeah, so sorry. I did register to vote. Yeah, sorry. But that was also in Pennsylvania, so things were a little bit different there. So now that we're in New Jersey.
Oh boy.
Gotcha. I did register to vote. I promise. I just didn't vote.
Yeah,
it's okay. We forgive you.
For now.
Stuff happens.
So speaking of voting, many stars are feeling very passionate about this year's election. For example, at the Billboard Music Awards, Demi Lovato had a screen behind her that said "Vote" while performing. And there was also a band from the 90s that are called Vogue, and they also did have words behind them as well. So yeah, I think that was pretty interesting to see and everything. The Billboard Music Awards was on Wednesday, October 14th. Did either of you have a chance to go and see that by any chance or watch it online?
No.
You know what? I'm so sad because I didn't watch it. And so if there's something you need to know about me, it's probably that I try to watch every single award show that there is. Like it's a personality trait at this point. Like I honestly try to watch every single award show, but I had a midterm the next day, so I couldn't because I had to study. So I was very sad about that. But the next day I was looking online and I was watching videos and stuff to just try and get a recap of everything that happened. And I thought it was really interesting. I know some people don't like the fact that celebrities kind of give their political opinions and stuff, but I think it's awesome to get the fact that you have people with these platforms that are talking about certain issues. So specifically with Demi Lovato and Vogue, like I know behind their performance they had words that said systemic racism, and it was like a bunch of different things, and it ended with the screen that said "Free Your Mind," and that's the song they performed too. So if you guys don't know who En Vogue is, they're a band from, an R&B group from the 90s. So when I saw that they performed, like I didn't even know they were performing, and I was so surprised because they're from the 90s, and I looked it up, and yeah, they're all in their 50s. I have a video. I'm going to share my screen because they literally killed it, and you wouldn't even know that they're in their 50s, honestly, because go them.
I want to be that cool when I am 50.
Yeah.
Right.
So here's the video.
So this is, again, the band En Vogue performing "Free Your Mind."
Of emergency. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it goes. Free your mind.
So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. If you saw behind them, the screen said bigotry and inequality. So of course, important topics. Same thing with Demi Lovato. Here's a picture of her. Behind her says "Vote." And the song I haven't heard it myself personally, but I heard people saying that the song she sang was very political, like in the lyrics and everything. But yeah, very interesting.
See, it's a funny thing to bring up that like some people are like so dead set against artists like speaking their political opinion, and it's like that whole thing of like stick to music, stick to what you're good at, you know. But then I think us, like the younger generation, actually really likes to hear what they have to say because, you know, they do have big influence.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, one thing that comes with fame. But it is interesting to know how they do feel. And one thing I think a grain of salt to consider about, you know, celebrities having political opinions is that their lives are extremely different from ours. You know, we are living, you know, like more middle class, or definitely not as much money as they have, and that economics does, you know, play a part in politics. And I think, you know, blindly following celebrities is probably not smart, but, you know, listening to them and what they do have to say, they are humans with rights, you know, just like everyone. So I like hearing what they have to say, honestly, but, you know, there are things to consider, you know.
Yes, I can
throw that out there.
I can definitely agree with that as well. I think that many artists that I personally follow, that they do use your platform to speak out and speak their voice, and just, you know, like whichever side they may be on. I think that it is very interesting to just educate yourself on the different topics and everything. And yeah, so
yeah, like if your political like stance is just from seeing your Instagram feed and what this celebrity is voting for and who they are voting for, you know, you should probably expand like where you're getting your information from. It's, you know, it's good to have input from other people, but blindly following Instagram.
Yeah, it's
not always the way to go. Not trying to shade, but it's just,
I mean, like back in high school, I feel like the different celebrities or just artists that I followed definitely had like big influence on me. But now that I am 22, I'm like, okay, time to, like think for yourself a bit and just, create your own opinions and everything of that sort. So
I definitely feel on that. I feel like as you grow, you kind of become more yourself. Like you kind of like discover who you are and like what you believe in as you grow. And yeah, I think that's just a part of life.
Yeah, definitely. But it's good to see it on social media, but I think it's important for the celebrities to have facts within their opinions. Like if they're going to talk about how they feel, have something to back it up. Because at the same time, they have a lot of, especially somebody maybe like Demi Lovato or Taylor Swift's a big person who like shares her. I know Leslie loves Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's a big person who shares her opinions online, and she definitely has a younger audience too. So if you have like younger kids reading that too, if they have like a reason behind why Taylor Swift is saying that, is definitely important.
The interesting thing about Taylor Swift though is I started listening to her when I was literally 5, and I heard Mean on the radio, and now I'm 19 and I've like grown up with her in a sense. So like I think some people who would listen to her are like not like old but older than her, and then some other people are like super young, like you said, and she has a varied audience.
Yeah, she definitely does. She reaches a lot of people.
Yeah, she definitely reaches a lot of people. She gets a lot of hate for things other than politics. And honestly, if I was Taylor Swift getting hate left and right for like the littlest things, I'd definitely be sharing my opinion because people aren't going to stop hating on her anyways. So she's speaking her mind. She's baking cookies. If any of you saw that Twitter post of her with her cookies that said like Biden Harris, like she made cookies to like, share her political opinion. She's obviously a Democrat, but it's a creative way. If you want to bake cookies and that's how you express yourself, go for it.
Yeah, definitely. But Kathy, were there any other performances that stood out to you?
Yeah, I did really like the performance by Sia. She performed the song "Courage to Change," but another one that I really did enjoy was probably John Legend's performance that he did dedicate to his wife Chrissy Teigen, who unfortunately just had a miscarriage not too long ago, and I think that was just. I don't know, I think it's just like very, I'm not sure if the right word would be to say very sweet, but I think that must have been very hard for them. I personally cannot relate on that. But yeah, and I think that for them to go and share that publicly, just with the world, I think that is a very private moment. But I think that.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, I can't imagine being a celebrity and like, it's like you kind of have to share your life.
Yeah.
But like there are things that I wouldn't want to. So I can imagine that was probably really hard for them.
Yeah, and they were, Chrissy Teigen's somebody who's very open on social media. So I know that she pretty much shared the whole story, which was, if you haven't seen it, it's on her Instagram or Twitter. I don't know which social media, but she posted everywhere, and it's sad, but I think it's an important thing to talk about because a lot of people don't talk about things like that, and it's kind of like the normalization that things like that do happen in the world. And I know, like, for example, just my roommate takes psychology classes, and she was reading me portions from her textbook, and she was like, I didn't know how common it is for people to have miscarriages. Like, I don't remember the stats, but she was reading me the numbers, and it's a very common thing that happens to a lot of women, and I feel like we don't really talk about that in society. So
yeah, Whew, we're getting into a whole nother topic.
Yeah, but I do have
the reason why it's not talked about is because it's something that happens to women, and of course, like you can see where I'm going with this.
Yeah,
it's not talked about because people don't want to hear women's struggles. Like, oh, I don't want to get too into it, but
yeah, definitely, that's like we kind of
because I could really get into it if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I just think more things should be talked about and they shouldn't be considered as taboo. I hate saying the word taboo, but yeah, I just think a lot of things should be talked about because it's important.
I feel like 2020 is the year of talking about taboo things, which is kind of awesome.
I'm all about
uncomfortable for most, but awesome for anyone who's been hiding in the shadows and not being talked about.
I'm all for it. I really do.
Same.
For that. But I have a little clip just really quickly. I want to share the little part of his performance because I think it was a really sweet thing. He dedicated the performance to his wife. So just quickly,
I want to be that level of life where someone performs and it's dedicated to me. Life goals, Chrissy.
And this song is so like just John Legend and his words. I heard the first 5 seconds of this video and I wanted to cry. So
this is for Chrissy. Oh, yeah. We got a good thing, babe. Whenever life is hard, we'll never lose our way. We both know who we are.
Okay, Caitlin, I'm gonna cry.
no, I know.
Please.
That was literally the first 30 seconds. It makes me want to cry. So that's on NBC's YouTube channel. So I'm gonna watch that later. Entirely.
And just saying that they know who they are, I think that's just very beautiful because I feel that, you know, because they are celebrities, artists, and things of that sort, it can be very hard to like, you know, to be within that. Obviously I cannot relate on that point, but I can just only imagine how hard it must be and how, you know, a lot of artists and celebrities like can kind of lose themselves in that and in the fame and the money and or whatever the case may be, and that's kind of upsetting. But I think it's awesome that they are staying true to themselves and being very authentic and real, because I think that's very important. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Kathy, are there any new music releases coming out that you want to talk about?
Yeah, so I'm personally a really big fan of Ariana Grande, and on October 14th, Ariana announced through Twitter and tweeted, quote, "I can't wait to give you my album this month," unquote. So do you two either listen to Ariana by any chance?
I do. I'm a big Ariana fan. I've been, oh my God, how many concerts of hers have I been to? Probably like 2 or 3. I went with my best friend in high school, but most recently I went last summer for the Sweetener World Tour, and I just absolutely love her. She has such an amazing voice, which I think is so interesting to see because a lot of times you see artists live and they don't sound the same, but she definitely just has a powerhouse of a voice. And I cannot believe when my roommate saw that she tweeted that, she literally screamed and I was like, what happened? And she was just so excited. So I can't wait to see what she has for us because I listened to Sweetener and Thank You Next like nonstop my entire senior year of high school.
Yeah,
Question. When was the last time she released music? I feel like it was a long time ago.
It wasn't.
Am I wrong?
There's a few singles. I know there was one with Justin Bieber came out. I believe it's called Stuck at Home, I think, just maybe a few months ago. But besides that, yeah, like a full album, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was
wild.
She had Stuck With You with Justin Bieber and they had like the video that they made like quarantine style.
I'm sorry, I said Stuck at Home.
I mean, that's the idea of it though. It's the same thing. But her album came out 2018, like December 2018. But she came out with 2. That was the thing. Like she had one in like September and then one in December. Like I don't know. It was
that's a lot.
Very close.
I'm excited to hear what she has next. Like how she's evolved since the last time she's released music. I've listened to her music like when her songs get popular, I listen to them. But I've never been like a hardcore fan where I listen to like all of her music. But I'm looking forward to it because I kind of like to see how artists evolve through their lives, if that makes sense. You know, they go through a lot in the time before they release the last album to this album, and she seems like the artist that does bring in personal experiences to her life and her music. So
I'm very excited as well. I'm trying to see how much she has changed from her last album and everything. I have never gone to one of her concerts, but next time, if concerts ever do end up happening again, which I hope they do because I just love going to concerts. I love the live experience and everything. Caitlin, if you want to go to Ariana Grande concert, let me know.
When it's safe. When it's
I don't think it's the next year or so, but
probably 10 years from now, you'll see.
Right.
Definitely.
To Ariana Grande, so
I would be so down to go to a concert with you in the future once everything is back to normal, hopefully soon. Yeah. But thank you for being with us for a little bit today, Kathy. We loved having you on.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, talking to us about lifestyle news. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Next.
Oh, she did an Ariana Grande pun. I'm so proud.
I was waiting for like 10 minutes to say that. But yeah, thanks, Kathy. We'll hopefully see you next week for another lifestyle segment. Well, next week will be a Halloween episode, so
yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see what there is.
But you'll definitely be back on the show. So if you guys liked Kathy's segment, you'll definitely see her again.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
So much happening in the world.
I know it's weird. I find it very inspiring how even in this time of like quarantine and like staying at home and how people are becoming, more sad or depressed or demotivated, artists are still kicking out really awesome music and taking the time to push themselves. And even just people like normal people like you and me are like we started this show, like everyone is like finding their passions, and that's kind of like the beauty of quarantine, even though it's really awful and people are like sick, but there are positive sides to it.
Yeah, definitely. And that's interesting. I feel like I hadn't really thought about that in the sense that artists are really taking this time for themselves, but it's true. Like, well, now I'm really thinking about it, and there's so many people who have been releasing new music over the past few months, and it's nice that they can use that time for something like that.
And speaking of that, like there are so many like shows and movies that are going back into production, now that like COVID has calmed down in a sense. I mean, like calm down is like such a vague term. Like I don't think it's actually calmed down, but even like as we talked about last week, so many of them are going back into production.
Speaking of entertainment and production, we have Kenny Horn here to give us some entertainment updates. Kenny, how are you? How are you today?
I'm good. How are you two?
We're good. For those of you listening, you might have seen Kenny a couple of times on the Friday Buzz as a newscaster. He's also our editor. He edits for the Morning Buzz as well. You probably saw him last week as well, because we had a whole episode just with Kenny. So, yeah. How are you doing, Kenny?
I'm just getting ready to tell you about all that's going on in entertainment. A lot's going on this week, and I'm going to
tell me all about it.
I'm going to get right to it, so I can talk about not my favorite show, one of my favorite shows of all time. You may have heard already, but Bay Harbor Butcher is back. Showtime serial killer drama Dexter is being renewed for a 10-episode limited series in 2021. The series followed Dexter Morgan, a serial killer who only killed other killers, and it ran for 8 seasons from 2006 to 2013. It was one of the biggest shows of all time back when it was on the air. The limited series is being run by Clyde Phillips, who was the showrunner for the first 4 seasons of the show. And as a big Dexter fan, I see this as both good news and bad news. And to be completely honest, 3 out of the 4 of Dexter's final seasons were average at best. And I don't even want to get into the 8th season, especially the finale. But the first 4 seasons, which are brilliant, and in my personal opinion, the 4th season is the greatest season of television ever made.
That's a big statement, Kenny.
I mean, especially because I can no way say that, because I have not seen every television show, not even close, and no one has. I'm gonna stop speaking now. So there are both the good and the bad with it. But looking past this show itself, this is another instance in the past couple of years where shows are doing reboots. There's Fuller House, Will and Grace came back on, The Connors, reboot of Roseanne, Twilight Zone. I know West Wing just announced that they're doing a reunion episode or something like that. And those are only a few that come to mind. What do you two think about shows that are doing this?
It's all like kind of like a marketing gimmick to like get people to watch more and like kind of get more money. It's like kind of like a lazy, yeah, I guess lazy is a big word, but it is kind of lazy work for producers. Instead of coming up with something like creative and new and engaging, they kind of sort of work from what they've already got to like keep making more money. So like I don't think those series are bad. Like some of them are pretty entertaining. Kind of depends on like how they did it, but for the most part it's like I feel like they don't put as much effort in them because they don't necessarily need to, so they don't turn out as good as they could have been, like in general.
That's an interesting thought, Leslie. I never looked at it that way because I feel like I always get caught up in the like nostalgia of it because like especially Will and Grace. I remember watching Will and Grace when I was a kid. I probably didn't understand half of it when I watched it, but like when the whole reboot came back, I loved it, and it was very similar to the original show. Like they hadn't changed much, and I thought that was really interesting. But that's true.
Like some of them are genuinely good. I mean, I remember watching like Fuller House, and it was a little bit of a letdown. I didn't even finish it.
Yeah.
And then how they do the same thing is like kind of similar for like spin-offs, and like it's similar to like remakes. Like how, I think I even mentioned this last week, how like Charmed got a remake and it's like completely different. I didn't get past like 3 minutes because I was like, this isn't the original. Like, where's Alyssa Milano? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. They fell flat for me. What do you think of them, Kenny?
I think that for the most part, they're just, like you said, they're just kind of cash grabs.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like with shows like Dexter, that show is infamous. It is, known as one of the, greatest shows, like their arc when they were on. And bringing it back, like I said, is both good and bad. And the reason that it has the good is because of how terrible the final season was. As much as I don't want to talk about it.
I've never seen Dexter, except I think I maybe watched the first episode and I didn't like it that much. Sorry. But honestly, like you're saying, it's like the first 4 seasons are like really awesome. I might try it again just because, I don't know, it sounds interesting to me now.
The one episode in season 4, it's called Hello, Dexter Morgan. That is my favorite episode of TV I've ever seen.
Now that makes me want to watch it because I want to see if I would like it. Because I do like those like thriller type like serial killer shows. Like sometimes they're like really scary to me because I'm like, real life is kind of scary enough. But like sometimes it is fun to watch those shows. So
yeah, you got to work your way up though. Except there's only 12 episode seasons, which makes me kind of laugh about this limited series because it's 10 episodes. It's practically another season.
My question for you is like, what happened between like the first 4 seasons and the last 4 seasons that went from it to being best on TV to like average? Like, what happened there?
Well, I mentioned that Clyde Phillips is running the limited series. He was the showrunner for the first 4 seasons, which, little side note, that's the job I want when I'm, big and grown. I want to be a showrunner.
Aww.
But, yeah. But so second 4 seasons, it was run by somebody else. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but they lost a lot of the writers, and really 5 was okay. 6 was a bit better. 7 was actually a good season. That's when they stepped up. I said that 3 out of 4 seasons, that's the one that was good. And the 8th season was, wow.
I have to watch it now. Like even the bad ones, because now I just need to know why it's so bad. Like I want to see it with my own eyes, if that makes sense.
You'll be disappointed, especially with the finale.
I'm ready.
But that's kind of a good thing, because I'm hoping that they can change what happened in the finale is irreversible and just terrible that some of it was. Like you said, I feel like it's a cash grab as well. It's just I'm always conflicted about stuff like this, because like from a viewer perspective, I want to watch it and enjoy it. From like, another perspective, it's just I know they're doing it for more often than not they're doing it for money.
Wait, Kenny, I have a question. Are they, because I don't know when, like what Dexter aired on, but I remember it was on Netflix. So where's the limited series going to be? Is that Netflix too?
I think so, because it was originally a Showtime show.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. I only ever saw it on Netflix, but
that's where I saw it.
Yeah. Kenny, do you have any other entertainment news you want to share with us?
I do. Thank you. So, Netflix, they've come out with an original called Social Distance. It's an anthology series which follows both the drama and the comedy aspects of the show, and people are trying to stay in touch during the coronavirus pandemic. That's the general plot of the show. The show is produced in isolation and has a completely new cast and setting every single episode. I'm sure that all of you Office fans out there, I know, Leslie, you're a big fan of this, that Oscar Nunez, the actor for Oscar Martinez, the amazing accountant, appears in one of the episodes.
I love Oscar. There's a lot of characters I like in The Office, but I've seen a lot of Office episodes, so I kind of, I mean, it's like not one of like my favorite shows. Like I know some people are obsessed with it. I'm not like obsessed with it, but I do like it from time to time. So I have a connection with those characters. They're special.
Too much hype, in my opinion. That's not the point. Social Distance is not the first show to take on the coronavirus, and surely it won't be the last. I know last week we actually watched a clip of the stars on Riverdale having to drink mouthwash before every single take of a kissing scene. And it's also known that the upcoming 5th season of the NBC drama, This Is Us, which I'm excited for, is having a COVID storyline.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Sorry.
Wait, do you all watch This Is Us? I love that show so much. I'm not caught up, but I love that show.
I just finished season 4. So
being
like
social distance has sadly become the new normal, and media has been more and more starting to reflect this. What do you both think about this?
Sorry, wait, would you repeat that?
There's a lot of movement for programs and commercials that are very reflective of the pandemic. Like I saw a commercial, a couple months ago that everybody was just wearing masks. Everything else was a normal commercial. It was just as they're wearing masks. It's become like the new normal. What people think about it.
I feel like it's interesting because a lot of people are trying to normalize the whole concept of like the world we're living in with COVID. But it's also kind of like, I know Freeform did a similar thing, like Love in the Time of Corona, and I haven't seen it personally. But it's just interesting because I feel like we watch a lot of things in entertainment to kind of escape from our own reality. And now we have these shows that are just reminding us of the things that are happening right now that are not necessarily a positive thing.
You literally took the words out of my mouth. I feel like TV is an escape. And like watching shows about Corona is probably on my list of things I don't want to do at all. However, this show, Social Distance, kind of sounds interesting because it's like trying to still like be social while we're in this pandemic, and it's kind of like a reality-based series instead of like Love in the Time of Corona, which I think that also might have been a reality series, but it kind of looked weird, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I might watch it just to be like, I don't know, maybe these people get really creative with how they stay social, which is something I haven't done that well during the pandemic. So like, I don't know, I might watch it.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be interesting to check out because I kind of want to see what they do, but also just like it's cool if it's like a brand new show, but like I think you said This Is Us is doing like a COVID storyline. Like I don't understand how that's going to work, especially This Is Us, because they do have the part that takes place in the present. I don't know. It's just going to be interesting to see that. But like new shows, I'd love to check out.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how they're going to work that into the This Is Us plot, especially with everything that it left on in season 4. Oh my god. But anyways, thank you, Kenny, so much for that entertainment news. You brought it today. It was your first time doing your segment. So thank you so much. It was awesome.
You're welcome. I love talking about Dexter.
We will talk about Dexter again soon, probably.
Yeah, Leslie and I are going to watch it.
I watch it.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm actually really excited for all the stuff coming out, and now I really want to watch Dexter. So
you know what, Leslie? We should watch it together virtually.
Oh, that would be so cute. Speaking of Dexter and how he's probably mentally ill, we have Lauren here with her mental health self-care Sunday segment. So Lauren Small, what's going on?
What's going on, Leslie and Caitlin? How are you guys?
Just talking about Mass Murderer on TV.
I love that show.
You watched Dexter too?
Yeah, I watched it, but like Kenny said, I stopped watching the ending seasons because they were just not good. But today we're going to talk about the importance of relaxation on your mind, because I was doing my little research on the internet, and I saw this article, and I thought it was really interesting. It was on a website called The Conversation by Trudy Eddington, and she was talking about how science can teach us to be more relaxed, because when we are still the same humans that we were like back when we were like cavemen. So back then we were just chilling. We didn't have to like grind all the time. We were just relaxing all the time. The only time we had stress was when we had like a fight or flight situation. And now it feels like all the time it's like constantly stress, and we need time to focus and stop and smell the roses and relax. I feel like, and some people are afraid to relax because it feels like there's a pressure to always be productive and not waste your time. But if you're constantly on the go and you're constantly pushing yourself and pressuring yourself, like the stress is eventually going to get to you and slow you down.
That's so true. You know, I feel like I always like pack my schedule to keep busy because I like being busy, and I like doing work, but at the same time, I feel burnout from time to time because I know I do too much.
Yeah.
And I think like my whole family's like that, and we all just like, we're like work, and then we all like end up burning out. And it's something, I think, like learning to relax and like keep doing that is like something I feel like I have to relearn a lot, because it's like so ingrained in our society to like work. So that's a really good point that you bring up, that we need time for it. Like it's actually like necessary.
Yeah, I agree.
Is there anything like specifically that you guys do to relax?
Honestly, like, I feel like I just like to watch like TV and stuff, and just like we were saying before, like just like escape. I do my nails a lot, which is relaxing because I'll do like nail art, so it's like a creative outlet, so that's nice.
Oh my god, doing your nails is so therapeutic.
It's really fun.
Put time aside for it because they have to dry and everything.
Yeah, and like while like they're drying or between like steps, I like will listen to podcasts or like watch a show, and it's like really fun.
Yeah, I feel like for me, TV is like my main thing. Like if I just don't want to do work, I just want to watch TV. I just want to lay in my bed and stare at my computer screen. Like that is so relaxing for me. But I mean, something else would probably just be being with my friends. Like even if it's just eating, I don't know, just something that's not like on my schedule, because it's just like Leslie, like I really try to keep my schedule like really full for the most part. So like if it's not written down, it's relaxing.
Yo, that's true. It's funny because you have to like work in time to relax. I feel like you have to schedule it sometimes, but it is really nice when it's like spontaneous too.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I feel like TV is like a good escape, but I feel like everyone should also practice relaxation where you're just like in your own moment, like recognizing like that you don't have anything to think about right now, like just letting go of like any thoughts and just focusing on your existence. Not to sound like oh my god,
that's a good point. I've always wanted to try meditating. I've never done it, but there's a bunch of health benefits to that too, I think. And I mean, it seems
actually at my high school, they started putting like meditation in at like the end of our gym classes.
We did that too.
Really?
Yeah. Like we would meditate and like we would like lay down on yoga mats, but like everyone would like kind of like just like take a nap.
It was I actually enjoyed it. Like some people made fun of it, but I was like, shh. Like people that were like being loud, I was like, this is my time.
This is my time. I liked it too. We had like gym like first thing in the morning sometimes, and it was kind of like exhausting to like wake up at like 6 a.m. and then like you have to do like a mile of laps and be all sweaty, and like I mean that was how it was at my school. Your warm-up was like running a mile. So yeah, the nap meditation was kind of nice.
Yeah, Kenny said he could never see that happening in his high school. It was weird. It was honestly kind of weird if you think about it. Like they would like turn the lights off and we would all just like it was kind of awkward, but you know, if you get into it and you just block out everyone else, it is helpful. So like especially in like a long school day.
Yeah. Like we did yoga sometimes too, and it's like that stretching can like really relieve stress that's like just hanging in your body and you don't even know it's there. It can be really nice.
You guys said that, I mean, some students would fall asleep, but did you feel like you were in like another mental state when you did it, or were you just asleep? Like how did that?
I felt like relaxed, and like because they would try to be like don't think about like that math test you have today. Don't think about that weird conflict with your friend going right now. Like literally just think about yourself, things that make you happy, and just like breathe. And it was like really nice.
Yeah. Leslie, did they play like relaxing music when you did it?
Yes, I
Yes.
honestly loved it. It sounded like those like little fountains with like dripping water, like stuff like that, and like nature, like little bird sounds. I love that.
I really liked it.
so
And
cool.
at the end, they would like be like, just think of something you're grateful for before we end it.
Yeah,
It
the
was so
gratitude
good.
thing. I loved that part too. The gratitude. I don't know. It's just really calming.
That's interesting. Lauren, do you have any other relaxation techniques?
So
in that area?
besides meditation, like Leslie mentioned, yoga, some people honestly, as like you said about like doing your nails or like putting on like a face mask or taking a bath or something, and just like not worrying about the work that you have to do today or just letting go of everything. Have you guys tried, all right, don't judge, but like, have you guys tried ASMR?
Yeah,
I
it's
love
kind of
it.
relaxing. Not gonna lie.
Oh, wow.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna be,
gosh.
I need to give a different opinion. I do not like ASMR. It makes me uncomfortable. I mean, it depends what kinds, but a lot of it makes me uncomfortable. Just like why do
Some
like people eating and stuff? Like, how do they? Ew.
No. Those ones are weird. I'm
I
just gonna
like
say those
the
ones.
like relaxing, like tapping. Like if they go like this.
Yeah.
Like I like that. I don't like when they talk a lot because it feels like really weird. Like someone like whispering to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't talk, please. But you know, it's like their channel. Do whatever you want. But yeah, I've done it before. I don't do it like regularly. Do it. I mean, listen to it.
Yeah. I haven't listened to it since I've been in college, but like at home, I honestly listen to ASMR like all the time. Not the eating. The eating's weird, or like there are some weird like people like dress up and stuff like that. I'm with Leslie on just like tapping.
Simple ones, like nothing. Like I've seen like some really like weird ones where it's like, never mind. I'm not even getting into that. But like some weird like dress up ones. Like I like this
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it's
So you play it like in bed or something, or like you go on a walk
yeah.
and listen to it. Like, how do you?
You like fall asleep because like the sounds just kind of make you relax. Like it's like, you know, when you're going to sleep and you think about like a million things that you had to do today, like when you're thinking of like an embarrassing moment that happened that day, thinking about all the things you have to do tomorrow, and it's like you hear like these tapping sounds and stuff, and like it's like you just focus on those tapping sounds and like it makes you fall asleep. Like if that makes sense. I know some people get like chills from it. I don't get chills. I just like the sounds.
I do, honestly. Have you ever gotten like your palm read or something like that, or like you're at the doctor's or something, and just like whatever they're doing, like the sound is like so relaxing, and you just get like the jitters.
I've never felt relaxed at the doctor's ever.
Really?
No, I always feel so panicked.
I feel like they have the most relaxing voices ever.
What? I've never heard somebody say that.
I've never thought about it. I'm always so panicked at the doctors because I just don't understand like going to the doctor.
That's
Me
interesting.
exposing myself on air.
Oh, it's cool though. But it's a different perspective. Like I've never heard anyone say that before, you know?
Yeah. And there's actually like health benefits to just taking time and relaxing. Like I know my family, we have like really high blood pressure, and nobody in my family takes the time to relax. So I'm going to take the time to relax, lower my blood pressure, and it improves your concentration, your sleep quality. Like if you wake up a lot in the night, like maybe try relaxing sometimes, set some time aside for yourself so you have time to like let your worries go. You're not like sitting in your bed contemplating life and every mistake you've ever made.
I have like a weird question. Like how much time should a person, like a busy person, like set aside in their day to relax? Like 5 minutes, an hour? Like what do you think? Do you even have an answer for that? Is it different per person?
Based upon my extensive research, I found that most articles said about 20 minutes.
Of just like a face mask,
yeah,
or just watching TV, eating a favorite food, like stuff like that.
Yeah, so there's no excuses.
That's a lot less. Yeah, that's a lot less than I thought, and you get all those health benefits. Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So now we have to promise each other we're all going to take at least 20 minutes today to relax and like just do nothing. Promise?
Promise.
You promise.
Alrighty, Lauren. Thank you so much for those tips. I feel like, I don't know, even like hearing you talk about relaxation like made me feel relaxed.
I'm glad.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good day.
You too.
Wow.
Self-care. I love talking about self-care.
It's honestly like really nice. I kind of just want to like hop off this call and like do a face mask, but we've got other things planned, so we cannot do that.
If only.
If only life was so simple. It's just hopping off your Zoom call. You know, I would imagine a lot of people who turn their video cameras off for like Zoom classes are probably like doing a face mask or something like that.
You think? That'd be a nice positive perspective on it.
They're either taking a nap, not listening, or doing a face mask. Like, what are the other options? Or they just
that's true. I would turn off my camera and do face mask during Zoom.
You know what? I'd keep my camera on. I'd let them. I'd even do the one face mask that I have that's green, and I will just straight up alien face.
That's so
I could do that. Should I do that? That would be fun.
Yeah, maybe you'll inspire your classmates.
Inspire. I wonder what they would say if they just saw me like being like green.
You'd probably end up on somebody's Snapchat.
Oh, what if I went viral like on like a thing? Oh my god, that'd be so bad. Never mind. I'm canceling this idea. You know, like, have you ever watched those videos of like people like telling their stories of like what happened before they became a meme?
No.
They're very interesting. They're like on YouTube.
Is it like their normal life before that happened?
Like, they tell their lives like before they were a meme and like how their life turned into like fame and stuff. Like, I don't want that to happen to me, honestly. But like it's really interesting to watch.
Yeah, that sounds really, I've never heard of that, but that actually sounds really interesting to watch.
It came up in my recommended, and then I just went down a rabbit hole of watching like all of them.
Of course.
So interesting. You know, like the baby meme where the kid is like this?
Yeah.
That kid's 13 now.
Oh,
yes.
13?
13. He's literally 13. Because in the video, he's like literally in there with like his parents. And he's like, yeah, I'm 13 and I do this and this and that. And I got famous because I was a weird baby.
Oh, that's funny. That scares me a little bit.
That meme is really old.
But on the same kind of wavelength as self-care, we have Isa here to talk about health and wellness.
Isa Winek, or if you want to say it the Polish way, Isa Noik?
Vnelk, actually.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll learn eventually. Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm really excited for today. I hope everyone is doing well this weekend so far.
After Lauren's segment, I'm feeling relaxed. So like, I'm doing great.
Yeah, I'm ready for the week.
I know that relaxation itself has so many health benefits, so that's also a good thing to remember to relax. Speaking of this time, why we need to relax, it is actually quite a very eventful, a little bit chaotic time with everything that's coming up. I mean, we have like midterms, we have so many political things going on now, and I know like everyone is in college just doing their own stuff, doing their best, and there's also a lovely time of autumn right now, but it's also the flu season. And I know that especially now everyone is concerned with getting sick and whatnot, because you don't want to be put in a position where someone says that you could be more sick than not, or you might have to miss your classes. So today I want to discuss easy and surprising ways to keep your immunity up during the flu season.
I'm ready for it. Let's go.
Of course. Well, number one, the biggest thing, and it's actually very simple, is to prioritize sleep. Now, I know myself, I know I have a very hard time prioritizing my sleep, because especially with classes, and sometimes I like to stay up watching a movie, and it's just so easy to just kind of stay up and kind of do sometimes nothing, sometimes just browse on your phone or just have a snack or continue studying, and then you look at the clock and it's like 2. That happened to me so many times before. And you have to wake up the next day. But what's important about sleep is that it is actually responsible for keeping our body prime and running, because in a way we could think of ourselves like a computer or even like a battery or some sort of system that runs but needs to rest. Even computers, we need to turn them off eventually because they're going to break down. Same thing with our body and our systems. So we need to remember to prioritize sleep. Around 7 to 8 hours would be best. So then we could function best and optimally without taxing ourselves too much or eventually bringing our immunity down, because our body is trying to just keep ourselves awake, because the body has survival mechanisms. It's very, very intelligent. And even till this day, many scientists say that we know more about space than the human body. So that's interesting. But,
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I never heard
yeah,
that.
it actually is. They're still doing many, many studies. But anyway, that's one big thing. It's a very simple tactic, but you're going to see if you prioritize sleep, if you make sure that you're rested, not only are you going to be healthier, like have a high immunity, but you're going to feel more energetic, you're going to feel happier, you're going to feel that your brain could take more workload or it could take more stress without hurting or without ailing you too much. So that's one big thing. Second thing is actually, even though it's colder, it's important to still spend time outside. Vitamin D from the sun is something very big that we all need, especially after quarantine. There are so many people sitting inside. We need fresh air too. I get you, same thing.
I don't really go outside that much. It's pretty bad, but I probably should.
Me too. I feel like every time I get blood work, they always tell me my vitamin D is low, so like I need to either take supplements or like go in the sun. But even more so now with quarantine and everything, like I know the same thing for my mom happened, like, and my dad too. Like it's just because everybody's inside, so it's something we really have to focus on.
You know what? I'll go take a walk today just for you, Issa.
Of course, yeah, go ahead. That's what I do every day. In the afternoon or in between my classes, I tell myself I just want to go outside for like a 5-minute walk. And now, like, even a good excuse to do so, just to go outside, see the leaves falling, the colors changing, like during the fall. It's so, so nice. And for me, I just find it aesthetically pleasing and very relaxing, very calming. So that's a good excuse to get out of the house.
Autumn is so beautiful, and like also I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like New Jersey fall has like such a distinct scent. When you walk out, you just like know it's fall because it just smells like fall. Am I crazy? Am I the only one who thinks that?
No, I get you. Same thing here. Like I really feel like our fall is very different because I've been to upstate New York and it's beautiful. Like in the fall, it's amazing, all the colors. But here, it's different. Like it's a slight different. You're right. It does have this atmosphere, this scent, this just aura, this niceness. Even when it rains, like today around my neighborhood, it's raining, but it's still really nice. It's very calming, very cozy. But
yeah,
yes,
I love fall. So you know what? Taking a walk is probably better for me. Like just look at the colors of the leaves, take it all in. Some good advice you got for me, Issa, and for everyone.
Course, yeah. And also another isn't entirely bad, but at night, I'm not sure, have you ever guys experienced this, that you wake up in the morning after like sleeping and after like just having an average night, and you might feel that your throat is dry, or you might feel that in the beginning your throat hurts a little bit, and then you feel like during the day it stops. When I was younger, I used to think that like, oh, I'm getting sick, that means I have to like I could stay at home from school. But in reality, what that is the lack of humidity in the air causes us to be more prone to like either getting like small tiny infections from bacteria, or simply just to feel cooler, drier, our body temperature goes down, and we could be more prone to catching like either tiny viruses or any small infections. So simply, a way to combat that is keeping like a humidifier in your room. It's they're not that expensive, and they really help because in the morning when you wake up, you don't have that dryness in your throat. Because I know for me, it's kind of uncomfortable in the morning. I've even seen humidifiers that are like, they look like little white straws, and people just put them in water bottles, and like they just keep
tiny
them.
ones.
Yeah, they're tiny. I think I saw it on Amazon somewhere, but it's they're very cheap, and it's pretty cool because you don't need this big blocky thing just like somewhere in the middle of your room, just like this little thing in a water bottle.
We have like this huge one at my house that's like our landlords like used it around the house, so they're like letting us have it while we're here in this house. And like it's huge, it's bulky, the handles are like so bad, like you can't, it's heavy and it's hard to carry, and it's like such a nightmare. So I'm kind of glad that like a smaller version of that exists, because I like using the dehumidifier, but it's such a pain.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, me myself.
I've never had one.
Oh,
I've never had like a dehumidifier, but I think it's funny that you said that, because I always, like, that happens to me sometimes. Like I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, am I getting sick? And it's like a little moment of like, I'm paranoid, but that's interesting. I gotta get one now for my room.
I recommend, and I recommend looking for a slightly smaller one as opposed to a bigger one, because you are gonna have to like refill it and also clean it, and like it's a lot of stuff.
It's a hassle.
It is.
I don't recommend it.
And also, speaking of humidifiers and that they're filled with water, like another thing that we should do that's really important for keeping our humidity up is staying hydrated. I recommend drinking a lot of water. You could also drink tea. You could drink many different things, but water is the best because like our body processes it. You don't have to keep digesting if it's like a latte with milk or juice, because then your body thinks that it's eating. But water itself, it just goes through you. They say it's healthier, it keeps you active, keeps you slim and all that. But a good thing you could do if water kind of tastes bland or just tasteless is to add some cucumber, add a little bit of lemon juice. That really helps. Even adding just like a few like drops of like citrus juice or lime juice really like not only is that, and of like a really fun way, at least for me, to stay hydrated is that I keep like a bottle of water on my desk, and I just make sure that during my classes I at least I have a similar
water bottle with the measurements and everything.
Yeah, that's good also to keep track how much you drink. What I do, I don't have those measurements on mine, but I make sure to drink at least 3 bottles a day. Because it's like 24 ounces, I believe. And then like that could easily translate to like 8 to 10 cups. Some scientists even say that they recommend us drinking at least 10 cups. Depends how active you are, if you're an athlete or not. I know that's very big, but drinking at least 8 cups a day, I recommend, would really help. And it keeps your body primed, running, and also helps you. It doesn't feel like your body doesn't feel like it's shutting down. It's properly hydrated. And you're gonna also see like a lot of headaches go away if you drink enough water.
Yeah, definitely. I'm somebody that my body really relies on water, because that's all I drink. Like I don't drink soda or juice or anything, so water is like my ultimate thing. And when I don't drink water, I feel like the effects on my body. But those were all some really good tips, Isa, and especially if we don't want to get sick, it's flu season, get your flu shots and everything like that, but also great tips. But like you mentioned before, it's also midterms. So do you have any other suggestions about just staying healthy during midterms?
All right, especially during midterms, I know that people are going through a lot of stress. Because a lot of information is crammed in your head at once. So a few things are very important with us, best foods and the best like things you could ingest to combat stress, which actually have a lot of health benefits themselves, but also help you ease the tension off. So number one, this is my go-to, herbal teas. Herbal teas really help. They're really warm, especially for this time. It's so nice. It's cozy. I highly recommend drinking tea, not only also wellness and relaxation. Some good tea options are cinnamon, ginger teas. I've seen ginger teas before. Chamomile with lemon is really good. It's really nice and cozy. I've seen ginger lemon teas, and they really help promote this nice calmness and really ease your mind during the midterm season. Another really good food, and this is, my sister makes fun of me that this is my favorite fruit because it's kind of considered a fruit, but avocados.
Oh, I love avocados.
Yeah, they are amazing. They're really high in omega-3, which is a very important fatty acid, especially for our brain. And they say that many students, especially during this time or during either midterms or finals, they're running very low on omega-3s for the brain. So making sure that you have enough omega-3s. This doesn't have to be just eaten taken from avocados. This could also be from like a flaxseed, oleic fish, walnuts, and eggs, which I highly recommend. And I know that also another big, one of my favorite would have to be either chocolate or citrus fruit. I love eating oranges. I love, like I said, putting lemon in my tea, or also lime juice. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. So take those tips and have a good, awesome, productive final season.
That's some awesome tips. I'm definitely going to use that as an excuse to eat more chocolate and more avocado because I love avocado. So
highly recommend.
So much, Issa. I feel strangely more prepared for midterms because I feel like I stress out a lot. So thank you so much.
Of course, yeah, and thank you guys so much for having me. Remember, stay safe, stay awesome. Bye.
No, you stay awesome.
Aw, I love that. Stay safe, stay awesome.
I think I'm gonna use that as my new catchphrase now, because that's just adorable.
Yeah, it's the perfect end to a segment too. It's a little, love that.
All about wellness.
Amazing.
Wow. So yeah, I just want to address to our listeners and viewers, this is the second episode of the Weekend Wake Up, and we've changed the format a little bit, and we've had, as you can see, we have 4 people coming on talking about different things. So we hope you enjoy it. We're trying to make it nice and informative for you, but also relaxing and some good lifestyle info. So I hope you guys are enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely. I know I learned about a lot of tips today, and I'm very excited to see what everybody has to say next week. Next week is our Halloween episode, so if you're interested, tune into that on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Yay.
Yes, our Halloween episode is going to be packed with spooky season fun. We even have our producers from the Morning Buzz, Ryan and Amanda. They're both going to come on, talk about their favorite things about Halloween. We have all these lovely people who might come on as well and talk about other Halloween things. So yeah, it's going to be a great episode. Don't miss it, especially if you're a Halloween freak like me. Shout out to Kathy, Kenny, Lauren, and Issa. They all did a great job with their segments today, and yep, that's all I've got to say. Anything else you got to say, Caitlin?
No, just tune into the Halloween episode because I'm way too excited for it, and I know it's gonna be amazing, and we have so many guests, and I'm very, very excited, if you can't tell.
Smiling ear to ear. I'm very excited. Can you tell? Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. We hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.